my channel. Today I will be taking you through a check on everything I've got in my cupboards before we get busy and make a meal plan for the next 6 weeks. I'm Yasmine. This channel is all about my finances and how I organise my life in order to make them better. I'm a single mum from London and I've got ADHD and I work for myself, so there's a lot in the mix, and I am on a journey to financial freedom, but along the way I've realised that organising all the different elements of my life is what's going to make the difference to be able to succeed. So today, as I said, we've got the meal plan, and first I'm going to check and write down everything that's in my cupboards, and then I'm going to start my meal plan from that point. So let's get into it. So ideally, I want to have a list of absolutely everything I've got in the cupboards, in the fridge, in the freezer. And ideally, I want that in a spreadsheet. But for now, I've got a pen and paper and I'm going to write everything down. Once I've got that, I can plug it into a spreadsheet. And then hopefully I'll keep on top of it. I will take things off when I use them and add things back on. It should be quite a simple task once I've got the basis. But now I'm literally just going to look through all of the cupboards, the fridge and the freezer and write down on my bit of paper exactly what I've got. I have got quite a lot of stuff in my fridge, but whether it makes a meal, I'm not sure. You're so noisy, young man. Are you noisy? I'm taking this opportunity to chuck things like this out. I mean, I don't even know why that's gone back in the fridge. It was probably one of the kids, but clearly we've almost used it up and I guarantee it's been too long since it's been last opened. I do think the fridge could do with a bit of better organisation. I've obviously bought all of these plastic containers, but we're not really sticking to anything specific, so I'm going to do that too. Right, I've been through and taken out everything that was no good. So you can see it's quite a lot emptier now. I will go through and clean it, but at the moment I just want to get this list down of everything that I've got. And that is everything that's in the fridge. I'm going to move on to the freezer. Hi. I feel like every time I go to a supermarket, I buy frozen fruit. It's quite evident that this middle drawer that is full of frozen fruit doesn't need any more. Now I'm just moving on to my sort of pantry cupboard. This is quite organised because I did it not that long ago, but still it is a bit of a mess like this. It's just been stuff chucked in, which I guess is what happens when you have kids. I don't know whether this was my best or worst idea that I ever had in my house, but let me show you. Because I have ADHD, I decided that if I could see things that I would always know they were there. Problem is, I never look at them to see them. Let me show you. So I had these shelves put up and I basically put everything in these jars and the kids started to label them all up for me as well. But I just don't ever look up there, so I'm going to make a note of everything here as well. Definitely need to paint that. So I've got my list here of everything that's in my fridge, freezer and my cupboard. I've just sort of split it out into categories for myself as well to make it easier to plan. I never do this on a template because I figure you're going to do the list over a kind of course of however quickly you can look through all your different cupboards, and it wouldn't necessarily make sense to do it in order of like cupboards and fridge because you probably want to get a feel for what you've got so that you can make a proper meal plan out of it. This is my weekly meal plan template. I'm thinking about printing this and laminating it so that I can reuse it because I don't always plan so far in advance. I've got 6 copies at the moment, but I think at the most I would usually do is 4. And then I've also got at the back my weekly shopping list. Now it's got a monthly restock on there, which I do in like the first week of the month, or I say I do, this is the first time I'm doing it like this. And then I've also got the weeks that are separate, so like fresh that I might need top-ups of. And the reason I've got it all on one page is that whilst I can plan out 4 to 6 weeks worth of food, I will also be able to know what I need to buy at the same time. So I'll do my big monthly restock, but actually if I know in week 2 or 3 I'm having certain meals, I know that I'll need to buy the vegetables, for example, so I can actually add that to my list already, so that come that week I've already got a shopping list. And then every time I do meal plan, which it's been a while now, as I've said, I always get one of my cookbooks out. I don't have many cookbooks. I'm not a believer in having loads of cookbooks that you never look at, which I think lots of us do. And I always usually just take one out because I find if I take a few, it can become really overwhelming and I don't know which book I'm looking in. And particularly me with my ADHD, I will just end up reading the book and not making my meal plan. So I choose one book each time and flick through it. And obviously, as time goes on and you do this more often, you'll start to remember certain meals and they'll become favourites and you won't need as much inspiration from cookbooks. So I'm also sitting down with this, which is my plan for the summer holidays. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this already. I just plan out what I'm doing if I'm working and where the kids are. And then, yeah, this is what enables me to know what food I need on which days. Let's start with week 1. I know that my kids are with a childminder from Monday to Thursday on this week. So I don't need to worry about lunch or dinner for the kids because they will eat that at the childminders. So for breakfast, I am going to do smoothies, and this day I'll do cereal. I'm going to do smoothies again. They like them and I do too. And let's do smoothie again on this day. And then on this day, I'm going to do a cooked breakfast because they won't be in a rush to go anywhere. Sorry, you couldn't see that. So I've just put cooked breakfast for the Friday. And then the Saturday and the Sunday, I'm kind of not going to plan because I'll just see what the kids fancy and I'll just make sure that I've got cereal and toast is going to be available anyway. So then I just go ahead and fill out the lunches, which will be for me. Dinners will be for just me as well. And then any snacks that the kids might need. So you can hear my dog like scattering across the floor. I'll just quickly go ahead and fill that out now. And then based on this list, I can then make a list of what I need to buy. So obviously I know what I've already got in the freezer and the fridge, and like I've got these lunches for myself already. They're like 1-person meals that I've got in the freezer. Smoothie ingredients I already have, but I will need a top up of milk. I am actually going to buy more milk than I ever usually buy. I'm going to go ahead and buy 10 times oat milk cartons. And I might even see if these are cheaper somewhere else in the shop that I usually buy them from, because I think if you buy them in bulk you can get them cheaper, and I do have the space to store them. So I'm going to go ahead and see if that 10, I don't know because I've never bought enough for like a whole month before, so I'm going to buy 10, see how long it lasts, and then I'll know for next time if I need to buy more. My freezer is pretty full at the moment with fruit, as you saw. So usually I'd buy jacket potatoes that are frozen, but I'm not going to this time. I'm going to just buy some fresh ones. They last a while anyway, so I'll have those like for lunches and meal and dinners and stuff for the first couple of weeks. I definitely know that I need a bunch of snacks. So at the moment, I'm going to just put snacks because I'm going to go to Costco and see what I find. And I know that Costco is good for things like that in bulk. Yeah, I'm going to just put snacks, and I know the kind of things that my kids like. I will just endeavour to get like a month to 6 weeks worth of general snacks. And I'm going to need some chicken as well because we don't eat much meat, but because I'll be feeding the kids a lot more during the holidays, I am going to buy some chicken and do a couple of chicken meals just to make sure they get like enough protein and stuff, because they would usually eat chicken at the childminders. And although I never cook with it because they won't be at the childminders as much during summer holidays, I will cook with chicken. Obviously, I know there are lots of ways of getting protein other than meat, but for my kids and what they like to eat, chicken is a really easy way for me to get it into their diet. I'm going to also get some eggs. I don't eat eggs, but I'm going to boil them and have them in the fridge as snacks for my son, and then bread as well. But I am going to put some of the bread in the freezer if I can fit it. So hopefully that will last a bit longer because we don't eat that much bread in this house. And just as a note, it is also gluten-free bread that we eat. Now, one thing that I have listed is that I'm going to do a roast dinner on the Sunday of the first week. I'm not going to buy the chicken for the roast like up here because I can't fit it in my freezer. The chicken to roast is going to become part of my fresh week 1 shop. I'm going to just put some carrots. Oh, it's 1T, isn't it? Carrots on the fresh list and cabbage. My kids love cabbage. And I've already got potatoes, which we know from my list. So I will pick up the whole chicken later on in the week and it won't become part of this monthly big shop. So that's it for week 1, and then I will move on to planning week 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There's a couple of meals in this book. So this is Pinch of Nom, and it's all about like really quick meals. I think my kids would actually really enjoy stuffed peppers. I'm not necessarily going to stick exactly to the ingredients, but I will do a type of stuffed peppers for my kids, and I think that they'll really like that. And it looks like it's going to be a really quick meal to make as well. So I've just about finished the plan. There are some gaps, but I think you can never plan anything 100% because things do change. Plans will come up and we'll end up doing different things on different days. So it's a sort of like 90% there structure so that there is a plan and we can then change based on an initial plan rather than never knowing what's next. So I'll quickly take you through where we're at. So first week we've got a mixture of smoothies and cereal for breakfast, and then cooked breakfast on the Friday. So that'll be like hash browns, mushrooms and eggs, not really meat. Saturday and Sunday I'm not sure, but obviously I will have enough of like the other stuff to go. Then it's just my lunches during the day because the kids are at the childminders, as I said. And as I said before, I haven't listed specific snacks, but we will have snacks in the house. So I've also, as you saw, already updated my shopping list based on that first week. So I've got everything either in the house or listed so far on this list for week 1. Coming on to week 2, I've got cereal, toast, cereal, smoothie, cooked breakfast, cereal. So I'm definitely going to need to put some cereal on my weekly shopping list. So I'm going to put this in my big bulk shop. I'm going to put 4 packets and that should do us for the whole of the summer. Then I've got lentil soup, which I've just found a really simple recipe for. I've got that across 2 days because I'll do quite a lot and the kids like it. So we'll have that for lunch on 2 days. Stir fry with tofu. And I've just put some other snacks here that will obviously have fruit and yogurt available as snacks as well. Again, I'm not listing specifically what days they're on because at this moment in time I don't need to. So stir fry, I'm going to need some stir fry fresh vegetables in week 2. So I'm going to put that here so I know in advance that I'm going to need it. I'm also going to get the tofu then as well because I want to get some fresh tofu that's been kind of flavoured, so it's really nice in the stir fry. Spaghetti bolognese, I already have the spaghetti, and the bolognese I use meatless farm mince, which is vegan mince, and I will get that fresh in week 2 as well. Pea risotto, I've got the peas in the freezer, and obviously I put garlic and stock and that kind of thing, which I've got already, but I don't have any risotto rice at the moment, so I am also going to put that on my big monthly restock. I make risotto a few times over the holidays, so I'm going to get 2 bags or a big bag of risotto rice. I'm going to put ×2 because they usually come in small bags, but if I can get a bigger one I will. Then I've got a couple of days where we're out for activities in this week, so I've got packed lunches that are needed for certain days, and then I've also got, we're eating out a little bit and we've got some snacks that we'll take with us as well. So for the packed lunches, I will make sandwiches. So bread is going to be part of like my standard food that I've got in my cupboard. And I think I'm going to get some tins of tuna because I make a tuna mayo jacket potato, and also I'm going to make a few pasta bakes, which I will do sometimes. I will put tuna in that. So I'm going to get some tuna in spring water, which is the one I usually get. And they usually come in like a thing of like 4 or 5, so I'll just get like a stack of 5 of them. Risotto I've got, so the tuna will be for the sandwiches for the packed lunches, and the peas I've got in the freezer. Pasta, pesto veg. Now I do have some pasta, but we are starting to run low, so again I'm just going to put on my monthly restock pasta, and I'm going to put ×3. I'm going to get 3 different types of pasta. When I say different types, I mean different shapes. And obviously Callum is gluten-free, so some of this will need to be gluten-free as well. I don't know which I'm going to get at the moment because it depends on what's in Costco and then what goes on my shop. But I will just have a look and see what's good value and what I can get gluten-free. Gluten-free pasta can be a bit boring sometimes. Then I've got salmon and broccoli here for dinner. So I am going to need salmon and broccoli in my fresh shop for week 2. And then I've got slow cooked sausage casserole. I won't need anything for that because it's all like veggies and stuff that I've got in the fridge already. And the sausages, I've got some in the freezer. Slow cooked chicken stew. I already had chicken on my list. And what I will do is I will put that chicken in the freezer and then use it for the meals that we have. coming up. And that is it for week 2. Week 3, you will see some repetition here. Again, we've got smoothies. This is all from frozen fruit that I've got in the freezer because I've got tons of it, using a bit of oat milk, a bit of almond milk. Actually, I'm going to add that to my list. So I said 10 times oat milk, but I like almond milk in some things. So I'm going to put that down to, let's get 4 of the almond milks, because sometimes almond milk is much nicer in a smoothie or in certain cereals. Pesto pasta, we've got pesto, we've got pasta already on the list, and then green beans we've got in the freezer. Chicken wraps, we've got wraps, and the type of chicken that I usually use for this is like breaded chicken. So I'm going to put on my week 3 fresh breaded chicken. And I may not end up getting breaded chicken. It depends what I can find that's gluten-free. And sometimes I just buy normal chicken and then just cook it up with a little bit of spice or something. We use that for the wraps instead. I do know that we always put like lettuce and stuff in the wraps. So I'm going to put lettuce as well on my week 3 shopping list. Then I've got, on the next day, halloumi with wedges and salad. I already have halloumi in the fridge. Halloumi lasts a really long time, so it's a really good staple to have in your fridge, and then you can just fry it up for dinner. We only have 1 block between the 3 of us, and it's plenty. And then pasta bake, I'll probably use tuna for that, which I know I already have on my list. Then the next day I've got corn, so that's stuff that I've got in the freezer. So I've got like random bits, like 2 unicorns and 2 dinosaurs and all these like little random bits of corn. So I will just make a sort of oven dinner here. And then risotto again, which I know I've accounted for in the risotto rice. The last one was pea, so I might make this one a mushroom risotto. And then that means in the week 3 fresh, I will need some mushrooms. And I'm going to put salad on here as well, because I just realised that I didn't write salad down for here, and I'll probably have some salad with the corn. On the Thursday, Friday and Saturday, I've got stir fry for dinner here. Macaroni cheese, I will have the ingredients of that. I've got quite a lot of cheese at the moment, but then I might need a little top up. So I'll put cheese here, but I'll put a little question mark by it. So just to check, will I need more cheese for that? Pasta I will have, and I don't necessarily have to do it with macaroni pasta. I'll just do it with whatever pasta I've got in the cupboard. The shepherd's pie will be, again, a vegetarian shepherd's pie. I think I'm going to have the potatoes. I will need a I'll put vegan mince times 2 on week 2 because it will last until week 3, and then a roast dinner on the Sunday. So I will get whatever I need for the roast here. So that is, obviously I've left these blank, but it will be, the reason I've left these blank is I think by this point we've cooked quite a few different bits of like pesto pasta, risotto and things like that, and tuna bake. So I'm going to just have like leftovers for lunches here, but I don't need to be too specific about that now. Okay, so moving on to week 4, I've got smoothies and cereal again for breakfast. And then from this point onwards, we're at a festival. So I've blanked that out. We're going to sort out what we're eating at the festival separately to this meal plan. I have pasta bake here on the Monday, which we will eat the same on Tuesday for dinner. And then I've also got soup here for lunch on the Tuesday and soup on the Wednesday. Fish fingers and chips from the oven, because I think after making a pasta bake, I probably won't want to cook a whole other meal. So that's going to be a quick and easy meal. And then risotto on the Wednesday, because that will be a nice easy thing to clean up after, ready to make the house and kitchen all clean and tidy, and like, you know, you like to leave it all like very clean when you leave the house, so that then everything is nice and clean when we get back from the festival. And again, I've just put a note here that it'll be fruit and yogurts for snacks. So I will need to buy some more yogurt at this point. So this will be week 4, and no doubt some fruit too. Obviously, this isn't restrictive. Like, I can buy more than what I put on this list. I'm just sort of preempting what I'll need to buy when, because I'm doing this now. So I may as well write it all down now. So that's it for week 4. Week 5, the children are away with a family member. I haven't planned my food because, again, I'm going to see what happens, what's around. It's so much easier for me to feed myself than it is to feed, obviously, all three of us, because we all like different food. Callum can't have gluten. I can't have dairy and eggs. There's loads of different things. So when it's just me, it's super easy. Like, I'm happy with peanut butter on toast. So I will see what is available. I probably will plan this week out when we get to it, but for now, I don't need to plan that. And then finally, coming on to week 6. So the kids are actually at a sports club this week. So you'll notice I've done slightly different breakfasts. They're a bit bigger. So the Monday's a bank holiday, but I just put the same breakfast anyway. So I'm going to be doing either scrambled eggs and toast for them, or protein shakes and toast. So similar to our smoothies, but I'll just make sure that I put some protein powder in, just because they're going to be very active this week and I really want them to get a good start in the morning, and then they can have some toast or something as well. They'll have packed lunches throughout this week, and then we're going to have spaghetti bolognese, stir-fry chicken, risotto, chicken wraps, and sausages and mash. Again, sausages I've got in the freezer. I am going to need some more vegan mince for week 6. I haven't actually cooked with vegan mince since Callum's been fully off gluten, so I'm going to need to check which one we can use, because a lot of them do have, well, they're made out of wheat. So spaghetti bolognese, I've already got the pasta. Stir-fried chicken will be in the freezer from the big shop, and the noodles and stuff, I probably just need to buy some rice noodles. In terms of flavourings and garlics and onions and stuff like that, I have in the cupboards. Risotto, what kind of risotto shall I make that? I might make that, I know they like pea risotto and they like mushroom risotto. I might make that a prawn risotto. How about that? They'll like that. So I will need some prawns, and then chicken wraps. Chicken is in the freezer, and sausages and mash. The sausages are in the freezer, but I probably will need some more potatoes. Potatoes by, is it got an E? Don't know. I will need some potatoes by then, and I probably need like fruit and yogurt again, because I reckon they're going to be hungry this week. So that is everything. That's all my meal plans and my shopping list done basically for the month, with just additions needed. Obviously, I haven't listed everything out separately here, but like snacks will be a number of different things. I'm just going to go and see what the shop's got and what deals there are. And I'm buying quite a lot of chicken, for example, but I'm going to put it in the freezer. So it looks like quite a small list, but it will probably cost quite a lot. And then I've already got pre-planned some of the fresh stuff that I'm going to need to top up on week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing, and then 6. Obviously, I will come back to this list as and when needed, and I'm just going to keep it in the kitchen on my fridge. I'm definitely going to make myself one of these and laminate it, because I'm really pleased with this format. And then just to show you, I've put some little clips in this book for where I have taken some inspiration for my recipes. So I had a chicken stew on one of the pages, and I don't think I'll be able to do the dumplings because of gluten, but there is a slow cooker method for the chicken stew, which I will give it a go. Look how delicious that looks. This is the lentil and bacon soup that I got the inspiration for the soup for. I won't put bacon in because we don't really eat pork. And obviously I had those peppers. I don't remember reading them out, but I think they were in week 1, some stuffed peppers. So I'll use that recipe for that. So I'm going to just leave those little markers in my book now, and then I can pop that back on the shelf. And then when I need to get to one of those recipes, it'll be really quick and easy. So that's it, guys. That is how I'm planning 6 weeks worth of meals. I hope that gave you a bit of inspiration. I will do an update on my shopping and how much that all costs. I, as you can see, have left the shopping list like a little bit loose so that I can get the best deals. I am going to make a trip to Costco and see what I can get there in terms of snacks. And I'm then going to do my monthly shop online after I've been to Costco and I know what I need. And then my fresh shops will just be in local shops. I'm quite lucky to have a Sainsbury's very local to me. One thing I will absolutely remember is to make sure that I've got my cards for all of the shops. I think almost every shop now you get money off with having the loyalty card. I wasn't a fan of these before. I've literally only recently got a Tesco card Club card, which probably I got it about 6 or 7 months ago. And then the Sainsbury's Nectar card I've only had for about a month. That's because Sainsbury's started doing the same thing with the discounts for people who had the card. So it was a bit of a no-brainer. I couldn't really justify doing my shopping without the card. I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this is how you plan your meals. Do you think I've planned it in enough detail? Do you think I've left enough flexibility? What's your take on it? How do you meal plan? And do you find meal planning saves you money, stress, time? That's kind of all of the things that I am going for. And yeah, I feel like we made quite a lot of different meals out of some key ingredients. I think that having chicken in the freezer is going to be a great time saver for me. And I'm obviously going to use my slow cooker quite a lot. And I'm really lucky that my kids love risotto. So that's it from me this week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate you all watching, commenting and engaging. It really helps the algorithm. And I will see you in the next one.